Esteemed colleagues, we continue our working day, and the topic of the next briefing would be volunteer organization Smile of Ukraine is looking for psychologists to conduct master classes and work with children of killed ATO participants. I give the floor to Nicolas Tacusell, who is psychologist and activist of this very organization. I, together with Smile for Ukraine volunteer organization, are going to organize the seminar for psychologists September this year. This very seminar will be completely dedicated to work with children of killed ATO participants during 2 days. And to be more specific, this will take place on September 19th and 20th in Kiev. So to say, the first day of the seminar will be dedicated to work with psychologists who arrange with children. On Sunday in the morning, that will be continuation of the work with psychologists. And the second part of Sunday will be dedicated to concert. We are going to invite near 50 children who have lost their father during the ATO participation, or those whose fathers are now in the hospital after being wounded. The aim of my today's standing here is to call upon, to urge Ukrainian psychologists who work in Ukraine to join this very master class. The main task of this master class, of these 2 training days, will be deepening of knowledge about children's psychology and about traumatic psychology. So to say, this master class is open for 50 psychologists. We are ready to engage them, to train them during this very period. This very masterclass will be held by me personally. Also, an external expert will be present who will join us later. This very expert will join us. She'll come from Nîmes, the city in France, in the northern France. That would be all. If you have any questions, please, we are waiting for them. Esteemed colleagues, do we have questions? I have one clarification from the Ukraine Crisis Media Center. For example, I'm one of the psychologists, and I would like to know more about the project. How can I do that? And in what way the selection will take place? What are the criteria of selection? So the main criteria of selection is professional practice in the sphere of working, namely with young, small children. Those must be psychologists in practice. So the psychologists are already working with children, well, not only with children of killed ATO participants, but with children in general. And depending on our opportunities, we'll try to select all of them. Is there any information available? Yes, there is a special site of Smile for Ukraine, www.smileforukraine.com. You may write a letter, an application there. Then we'll send you a questionnaire, and after the answer, we'll give you a positive or negative answer to the application. We have one more question here. Grand Pruszenski, Toronto. So I'd like to translate the question if I get it correctly. The question was, what number of children was helped so far by the Smile of Ukraine, and what are the plans for the recent several weeks? So the answer would be as follows. The idea of this project, the idea of necessity to grant training to psychologists emerged after volunteer organization Smile of Ukraine visited several training facilities near Kyiv. Those are organizations for children who are deprived of parental care. We have seen how these children live. We decided to help them psychologically, and that was the source of inspiration to create this very project. So the question was as follows. How many children deprived of parental care or children who have lost their father during the ATO are there? But Mr. Nicolas has no such statistics. The children which will be engaged to this very project will amount to 30 of those who have lost their father and 20 of those whose father is now in the military hospital. So summing up everything that was mentioned, the training program will last for 2 days. The first day amounts to training for psychologists. The second day, Sunday, continuation of the training work will concentrate on clinical psychology. And finally, during the second day, during the second part of this Sunday, there will be a concert for children, and we'll disseminate assistance from the organization France-Ukraine Solidarity, which will grant humanitarian assistance and presents for children who will be present there at the concert. Thank you for your attention. And finally, I would like to highlight one thing as regards of the visit of several French senators who have visited Russia recently and then went to the Crimea. I would like to underline that plenty of citizens of France are paralyzed by this news. They are shocked. Nevertheless, we have to understand that this is the logical consequence of Putin propaganda, which is spread in Europe, namely in France. And I would like to underline and emphasize on my behalf and also on behalf of plenty of citizens of France who live in Kiev, in Ukraine, this is a shame for us that we have such MPs who are capable of such actions, namely to support the violation of international law and the annexation of the Crimea. And my good friend of mine, Oliver Vedrin, is today dedicating the whole program at UAT time. He dedicates the program to this very event and actions of French representatives who visited the Crimea. Thank you so much.